Your mother hates rides?
And I told her another factoid. When you can go through all the keys and geek out on the things that you like without actually going on the ride. So she's like, really?
Yep.
Really? There's stuff about this. I'm like, yeah, we did it. We did it a couple of times.
All right. So if you go on YouTube, we should be live right now.
I didn't get the notification. There it is.
We should be live now.
Yep, I'm looking right at you.
Tee
Your hair looks nice that way.
little bit of leg. And I got my work shirt on.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
Shut up, Karen.
Yes. Shut up, Karen is a whole big thing. It's a whole big thing.
Sound is coming through good. I just turned off the sound though so that there's no interference.
Yeah, you don't need to hear yourself talk and me talk. Are you coming through okay? Because I had to rewire the mic, so we're no longer using the webcam mics. We are now using the Snowball as the primary audio. You'll love this. All right, you ready?
I hear myself.
Well, that's good. Camera changes. So this is the drafting table.
Nice.
All right.
Drafting table looks.
Now, if I'm doing a like a digital tutorial, like when I'm doing on Krita and I need to talk and go back and forth, this is the screen for that.
Nice.
So I can change the lettering that's down at the bottom where it says Krita Learning Digital Art. And then I can go back to this for when I'm working on my traditional art. It's going to change in a minute. Sorry. There you go.
Back to your
back to the drafting
table.
So I can put myself in the corner and address the camera and have my cameras on my work shooting 1080p. Which is what we wanted. This is the camera setup that we were going for. And then
it's coming through pretty good.
Yeah, and then there's two. We're back on the main screen. You'll notice the audio cuts out because I have two set up. So the last 2 weeks I have spent a lot of time watching different YouTubers and learning how to use OBS and getting to know some of the in and outs of this. So there was the motion transition thing, which is different from just doing a fade, which I kind of liked. There's another one that's a blur effect, so I can put text over like my starting screen, but I think I'm just going to put my starting screen as the drafting table.
Okay.
And then we'll see how the streaming takes off. And I may or may not.
Cough button for me.
And a what?
Cough button for me.
A cough button?
Mm-hmm. They do actually have that where you can momentarily mute your mic.
Well, you could, but I think we're pretty okay. So right now, with this being camera 1, and then the one over the drafting table, camera 3 and mounted over on the end of the workbench, shooting down the workbench. And that'll be kind of cool because it'll get the side perspective that I had for when I was working on Little Blue.
Okay.
So I can cover all of my stations in the studio without having to really remount cameras and just completely uh, go crazy with moving cameras. So yeah, it's been 2 weeks of studying how gaming streamers set this up and everything because, oh, you'll love this one. Let me do 2D work. So the working table, okay. I'm gonna wait for the camera to change because you're gonna love this. Okay. So you know how the table's kind of okay lit?
Pardon?
See how the table's kind of okay lit?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn the light on because remember this lamp was the whole. Oh man, the banding's there. Okay, so
you got a lot of banding, and it's not moving.
It's not moving. It's not moving. Okay, so I should be able to. I think what happened is that it defaulted to something again. Yeah, it defaulted. Because I had this on. No, I don't want it on auto. I want it on 7. Okay. There we go. Okay. There. Banding's gone.
There you go.
How's that?
Very nice. Once you get past the white balance, it's very good.
Yeah, it's much better. It's more crisp. And there was something I was worried about with like the lighting and ambient lighting, and that is everybody was like, "Oh, well, you need side lights, and you're gonna have this glare, and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, we'll just do this. We'll do it where I can have the light over the table to light up the drafting table, and I can use the desk lamp, and there's my balanced like key light and my fill light."
I'm actually psyched for you.
Oop. Keep remembering which one has audio and which one doesn't. I'm going to rename this because I there. Whoops. I'm still kind of getting used to it. I haven't programmed the hotkeys for it yet. But I have 2 for camera 1, one that's got audio and one that doesn't. But I didn't really label them. I've just labeled them camera 1 and camera blur. Which is basically camera 1 that I was going to put a blur filter on, but it didn't want to take.
Now, can you zoom in on the drafting table?
I can, but I don't get any better quality as far as more resolution. I will actually lose focus, and it won't pick up any more detail.
Okay.
Now we have audio. See, I don't necessarily have audio on all of the setups.
Yeah, now it's coming across.
Yeah, now you have audio because I didn't add the snowball in for everything, and I have the mics on all of the webcams off, just to get rid of that problem because the snowball's just meant for recording audio. So it was a very long 2 weeks of learning, considering I'm completely computer retarded. I'm
Sure.
awful of the dirt.
Actually, I'm more than you are, but all the same.
So yeah, so this is the over the desk view. And then we've got this with, see, it's just really nifty and tight that I can just hit another camera setup and then it brings me into the shot and it labels everything and it brings in the logo. And it basically
that's pretty cool.
I think that's really tight, and it's literally a one button click. Like right now I don't have the hotkeys set up. So right now I have to go through with the mouse and just click on the camera setups and the scene setups. But I can fix it so that I have a hotkey, and then I can just get, if Scott's watching this, because I know there's 2 viewers, but nobody's saying anything. If I can do a wireless keyboard and then move it away from the actual tower, and then I'll have the hotkeys right within reach. And that'll just be for hotkeys when I've got OBS running. I will probably still wind up getting a...
There might be an app that you can use your phone as a remote control too.
Yeah, there is. There's something that...
For some systems there is.
Yeah, there's you can get a Stream Deck, which basically gives you 15 hotkeys, but yeah, I can effectively get an app, and because of the new tower, which has got... Remember when I bought my Canon? And I was like, this camera knows more about shooting photos than I do? That's the way this computer is. It's got a radiator in it, and it's liquid cooled, and it gets bored when I'm watching TV, which is kind of amusing. But that was the whole point of getting the new tower. I mean, this is much higher quality. This tower isn't even breathing. So the
computer's name is Deep Thought.
Deep Thought. Actually, I really wanted to name it, God bless America. Oh, it was something, it was the RMS something. Oh, it was the RMS Beefcake. Because when you get new computers and you occasionally get to name this in particular device, I really wanted to name it the RMS Beefcake. So yeah, this is pretty tight because I can just take and get rid of the graphics, and then we can go to the main screen so I can sit here and chit chat with people. The only thing I don't like is that I'm addressing the camera as it's running on OBS, not as it's running
It's pretty cool effects too, how it automatically shrinks the screen down when you're switching cameras.
I've been doing my homework. I've been so doing my homework. I'm proud of my results so far. So, yeah, paying attention a lot to what gaming streamers are doing with their setups and trying to be much easier with getting content. So, hey, with this I don't have to worry about the lighting, the issues with all this crap with the banding on the drafting table. That's done, it's taken care of. The lighting on the main table is taken care of. The Wacom, which is this camera setup, this is all taken care of. It's super slick now. There's almost no issues. The only other camera setup I would do for streaming is, as I said earlier, is one over on the workbench.
Okay.
Oops. Now I remember.
Running Corel at all yet?
Well, yeah, that's the one problem with this new tower is they're taking CD-ROM drives out of towers. So this one doesn't have a CD-ROM drive, which is how I have Corel installed on the old tower. So Scott loaned me a CD-ROM drive to install Corel and to install my copy of Microsoft, so I could get Word permanently put on there, Excel, and all this other jazz, because when you get Windows, you get a 365 30-day version of it, and I have a hard drive for it, or a disk driver for it. But it didn't want to register it. It didn't even want to look at it. It was like, what? No, I can't deal with you right now.
Okay.
And so I may have to... Rose is on here when she should be at work. Gina, you're supposed to be at work. You're going to get me in trouble for getting you outside of work. And Duchess has decided she's going to use the draft workbench as a scratching post. Hi. So, I still have to figure out how to get some of this other jazz installed, as far as getting Corel put on and getting Windows put back on. I know I can just skip Corel and relearn the new video editing program, because I was talking about learning DaVinci Resolve, which may or may not be a problem. The cats are playing parkour. But
she says it's slow and she's bored.
It's slow and I'm bored. Well, okay. Hey, by the way, Rose, I am not wearing my fashionable leopard pajama pants. I am wearing my Supernatural pants. Wait, wrong leg. Wrong leg, there we go. Supernatural. There's obscure, bizarre conversations. Why women can't have pajama pants with pockets in it.
No cheetah butt.
No cheetah butt. No cheetah butt. Cheetah butt is for days when I don't turn the heat on in the studio. So since Rose is watching, should we flip through the camera angles again? Rose, do you want us to do that?
Douglas says no. The Supernatural pants are probably better anyways.
The boys say hi.
Probably, definitely.
Yay! So here's the main camera. This is the part where Devin's gonna go. I don't know why she keeps talking about OBS, because I'm streaming on Twitch and I'm fine. Yeah, well, because you can't do this on Twitch. There's the drafting table. Well, you get the monitor because the monitor's in the way. And then, let's see, we did working Wacom. So this is the screen setup with doing Krita.
So are the cameras in their original areas, like where you originally had them? Does it mount on the wall where the Sony used to?
Yep. So what we did is that for the last stream, I had the one camera over the monitor, the main monitor that I had on the desktop, and I just had that pointed toward me. And that one is still in the same spot. The monitor has moved it down the desk a little bit because with this new tower, it's that much bigger that I had to put it in the corner cabinet versus the tower cabinet, which was all kinds of what did I get myself into. But it required me pulling the desk apart a couple of times and figuring it out. But it works out now because it's got way more ventilation, and the Wacom is... I'm probably never going to spill a coffee on it because it's... 6 inches underneath the desktop, and there's a door that is actually a cabinet for like a kitchen cabinet, so it's more waterproof and resistant than the tower cabinet that is really not meant for keeping coffee out of your tower. So you're putting me on a headset? Oh good, now everybody in the store can listen to me yammer. So yeah, so this is the, what did we say, digital while working. This is just the drafting table. This is the traditional art with me in the corner and it has audio. Or it should have audio. Better have audio. And
switch it back, we'll see.
Should have audio. Yep, this has audio. This has audio. There's just a lot of, like, this one has
Still got audio.
Yeah, we should have audio all the way around. Yep, this one has audio. The Wacom main doesn't have audio because I'm a little afraid. With the because each one of these camera setups has to be its own scene, and you set up your audio and everything that you want to have inputted on that, so you can turn it on and off. But what I'm a little afraid of is that I want to make that Wacom screen kind of a silent screen, so that if I need a screensaver, if I gotta have time out to go to the bathroom or stop the cats from playing parkour, little shits, that I can do that. And then there won't be audio, so nobody has to hear like the screaming of me or the flushing of the toilet or whatever. But the other thing is I'm still trying to figure out what the how it's going to work with streaming music, because I've looked on YouTube as far as third-party copyrighted music, which, okay, we won't talk about the Eagles or the Beatles or Elvis, because apparently those estates are just so copyright protected that apparently you can't even say them. It's bad. It's so bad you can't talk about them. Don Henley has rights to everything.
That bad? So I imagine even like the Beatles will be.
Yeah, because we had that discussion last week about how just you can't even the Beatles. Oh my God, not the Beatles, because there's so much money into that estate of music and that body of work. So apparently I can do something where I can play stuff on VLC, and I can have that piped through a set of headphones and mute the audio on the stream, but it will pull up the title of what I'm playing in the feed, and it will adjust it according to what the title is. Still playing with it.
Says, Devin said, "Calm down, Gremlin." LOL.
And Rick says hi. Why is Rick in the store? I'm so confused why Rick is in the store. I'm so confused. Why is Rick in the store? So confused. I wonder if I can take this.
He's not.
He's not. Well, that's good. So yeah, this is nice and sweet. And honestly, I could, for while I'm streaming, simply carry OBS over onto this monitor over here and just stream from over here and be in my station and be in my zone and like listen to whatever I'm playing on VLC Player and have it rotate out so that I got music playing, so when I have crazy dancing moments that I don't look like I'm completely out of my mind, although Doug got subjected to me changing the lyrics to some 90s stupid song. I don't even remember. It was something about closing early and going away, and it's 10 o'clock. Why are you here?
Out there in YouTube land, it looks like you have Revolution's looking good. Resolution is looking good, sorry. That comes from Devin.
Cool. Yeah, I'm thinking that this tower is going to work a lot better and the 1080 cameras are going to look a lot better. So the only thing we need to do from here is to do a secondary mount up on over the drafting table. And I think I'm going to get the different Canon that effectively I would directly wire into the tower, and that would shoot at 4K and get the kind of zoom-in shots that I had with the Sony, without having to worry about the burning out of memory cards and having to stop every time because it would write it right to the hard drive rather than on memory cards. And then I can go back to using the Sony for what I wanted to use it for. And according to Canon, OBS should have a feature where I can record certain camera angles, so I can just record the drafting table. So I can just record, well, effectively this shot. This is the back of the dusty monitor right now because I keep moving the monitor. But that I could just record this shot, and so therefore I would have
Forestry!
No. I would have the camera angle for tutorials and the speed demos, which is a lot tighter. And I honestly didn't think I would be as happy with this as I am, but this is compared to what we were doing, super tight. Like the transitions alone are super tight.
Yeah, look at you getting all professional in your setup.
Well, damn, look at that. I can learn stuff. So should we go past the new setup into the news? Because there was an infamous person who helped me out with this tower, you know, because I know shit about technology. Matt, did you die, or are you hiding underneath your blankets again?
Hiding underneath the blankets again.
Okay. So should I talk quieter? Okay. So as you know, I went down to Illinois to get this, and Dave's the one that knows more about computer programming than I do. So, Dave, as you know, commissioned me to do Lunch Meat and Chopper way back in 2012, according to the paperwork, is when he decided to do that commission. And while we were down there, we were talking about how he wants a second piece done for the 2 Rottweilers that he currently has. Well, I shouldn't say current. He has a one. I feel bad because the Devin is trying to talk to me. Hello, Devin. There is Lucy, and that's the Rottweiler that he had to put to sleep. She had a brain tumor, and I think Dave said she was 9 or 11 when they put her down. She had a brain tumor, and then he's got another Rottweiler named Hydra, and Hydra's still around, kind of like Lunch Meat was around after they had to put Chopper down. So that is a new commission that's come in. So here we are with paperwork. And the concept is that basically we're going to do a mirror picture of the one that we did with Chopper and Lunch Meat. And Chopper was a Rott and Lunch Meat was a Pit Bull. And so now we're doing 2 Rotts, but we're going to do it as a similar pose, but in the opposite directions because of the way that they have their living room set up.
Rotties pretty much all look the same too. I know that's kind of racist, but
Rotties all kind of look the same. They're kind of bred to all look the same. So, yeah, it'll be kind of interesting. So I had to pull out the contract that I had from, good God, like 9 years ago almost. Technically it's 8, but it's like reads like 9. So this became a whole thing because, as you know, I had my price sheet for commissions on my Facebook page. And I had them up there for a bunch of years so that people could just ask. And then apparently Facebook decided to go all merchant friendly with their business pages. And so they took down any documents that they didn't feel would be helpful for you to sell your work on, which is kind of dumb because they didn't send me a notification that they did that. They just did it. So I
actually found it really hard managing two pages on Facebook.
Right.
Using the same email address in 2 pages was just a pain in the butt.
Well, yeah, but I gotta kind of, let's face it, I don't exactly put stuff on my personal page that I would want anywhere near my artwork because while I'm not necessarily the most professional person with my artwork, in fact, Rose, who is apparently still streaming, likes to call me an artistic snob. I got called an art snob by Rose.
Really?
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, apparently I'm an art snob. So that's the thing that happened. I think it just has to do with the fact that we were all talking about this artist that is on Facebook who draws horses, and he says that they're all different kinds of horses. Like this one's a Lipizzaner, and this one's an Arabian, and this one's a quarter horse, and this one's a thoroughbred, and this one's a saddlebred. Okay, Matt, you've been to Midwest Horse Fair with me. Those horses all look different. And somebody got on his case about it, and we were laughing about it at work. But it turns out that, as you and I both know, this kid's autistic. He's in his 20s and he's autistic. So that was when I was kind of like, okay, well, we're not going to pick on this guy anymore. Because he's, for a kid who's autistic, he's actually really good. He's got a good, consistent style. You know, and I was complimenting him, but he keeps getting this advice on his work. And I think it was last week or the week before, somebody was critiquing his work, just in case we want to get into how much of an art snob I am. And he had drawn a white horse on one of his backgrounds that is of very little detail or making very little sense. And he said it was a Lipizzaner, and somebody proceeded to critique him about the anatomy. And I really wanted to jump down that person's throat and said, do you not get that this guy's got a style? This is his style of work, and if you're looking for anatomy details, it's not going to happen with the style. That's way too detailed. And then I just said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to stay out of it. Because I don't think anything I could say at that point would be anything less than me just looking like a jackass.
Yeah, I end up doing that too sometimes. Especially with newcomers to blacksmithing and stuff. When they come up with something that's almost kind of knife shaped.
Yeah.
What did I do? Well, keep on going, make 20 more, and you'll see how you did.
If you can do this 20 times, you've got a pattern. You have figured it out. So, well, this stream's doing a lot better, and we're not even really getting anything done. This is just going over that. So yeah, so there was the working on Dave's commission, and he's making me promise to not give him a price break. So getting back to the Facebook thing, I went to go look for my price list, and of course it's missing. So I had to go back on the new tower. Oh my god, Matt, this tower is so much faster than any other tower that I've had, ever.
Well, come on, it's got a radiator. It's a Formula One car.
It is a Formula
NASCAR.
Okay, so you know how as Jace likes to say, I'm a giga hoarder of pictures?
Yeah.
Okay, so
now you'll have room.
It's not even that I have room. It's not even that I have room. It won't take me 6 years to go through them. So when I realized that Facebook had deleted my price guide, I was like, shit, I gotta find it. Okay, so I'm like, okay, commission price list, it should be an Excel sheet? Question mark, I don't even know. So I typed out price, and by the time I got to the E in price, I can't even make this up, it had a laundry list of crap, which were documents from when I was living in Cedar Grove in the Covenstead, and we were typing up like business courses analyzing the company, you know, as to what the situation analysis was, what the financial analysis was, the pricing guide, the profit loss, profit gain on it, like all this stuff that Jason had written that I had to approve of and sign off on before he could submit it to his professor. And it had found all of that along with the price guide, because all of this had pricing strategies in it. I think understanding that every year, as long as I was taking commissions, every like late December into January, I would review that year's commissions, figure out whether or not I should adjust my prices. So Dave had it in his head. And by the way, I have the paperwork here. Okay, so I'm gonna cover up the private information and just say, for the record, he commissioned it. Oops, that's not really working. It doesn't want to focus. He commissioned it on 12/19/12, which is in December, and he got the painting on February 12th of the next year. And in there is a pricing analysis and profit review for myself and a price hike for my paintings. So he thinks I cut him a break after he demanded that I not cut him a break. So I had to go find my pricing guides and figure out which one was correct. Apparently the conversation is still going on, and I didn't even realize that we're still analyzing the computer over here in comment land.
Yeah. I couldn't find a healthy segue to cut in and say, Doug said for the price point, it better be fast.
Yeah, for the price point, it better be fast. Like, I was amazed when I was like, I was so ticked off last night because what I didn't have on here, I've got the total for what Dave paid and the breakdown, but I didn't, and I have to add this in, is the size of the piece. So I remembered, because I was standing in his living room, that we had measured it out to an 11/14, but I noticed on this contract it's not in there, so I got to add it. But then I had to go figure out the new price for this new piece that we're doing in the next couple of weeks here. And bro, I was expecting to be looking for that document for hours. It took less than 30 seconds. I was like, well, damn. And you know me, Matt. I have a lot of crap on my hard drives.
Yes, you do.
I have like
page after page after page after file after file after file.
Hey, anybody remember those pictures from Solstice? That are a folder
Devin
within a
asked
folder
Dave
within a
commissioned
folder.
You?
Huh?
Devin asked Dave commissioned you?
Yes. Yes, I have a commission from Dave. It's 2 Rottweilers. It's coming up. It's an 11/14 in acrylic. So that is the commission paperwork we're working on. So there was that. But then I had to figure out how Facebook now has their business pages set up so that I have a way of providing services in a more streamlined fashion. That took more time to figure out, so I was doing that last night. And apparently
I was wondering if it was Knife Dave.
Yes.
Knife.
Yes, Knife Dave. See what, I don't know if I have just people at work who've already heard this story.
Oh, okay, so it's the same story that I heard then.
It's the same story you heard over the about the weekend that I went and got the tower, and the 20-year-old that came bouncing up to me and all impressed that I'm 5'3" and am very versed in knives, you know, because metallurgy and Highlander was popular and I want to be cool. So.
Don't give me a cloud if they climb the cloud.
Quarter McLeod to the Clan McLeod. There can be only one. Oh, by the way, do you notice I'm drinking Pepsi now? Drinking Pepsi. The bane of my life. Because Coke no longer makes caffeine-free regular, and caffeine-free diet is gross. But it's okay because I have water
Yes.
too. I have water. So yeah, so we've got, I have off on Thursday and Friday. So I will probably have the layout done and approved sometime over the next couple of days because there's too much bouncing between stations to get the layout done. So I should be able to get the layout done and then transfer it onto, I think, let me check and see whether or not I put this on. I might just be really stupid because I don't remember if I did not. I'm dumb. This is how many ways I hate myself because I didn't put on here whether or not I put it on a stretch canvas or if I put it on canvas board. I think I put it on canvas board though. Oh, look at that. It's a thing. And I screwed it up. Oh well. It's a learning.
You didn't really know that you were going down there to discuss a old commission either.
Well, when he stopped up to bring me the monitor that I gave Devin. Tiny but mighty. Mighty Mouse. Shut up not allowed before Rose beats me. Bring it. Love how they're getting so much work done. Dave was talking about this commission when he came up and dropped the monitor off that I gave to Devin. So he gave me some pictures then, but we hadn't really talked about the specifics. And when I went down and I took a look at the original that I did of Lunch Meat and Chopper, then it kind of came to the forefront and how basically Dave designed this whole room around that painting, which was really humbling because it's a really big room and there's a lot of stuff in the room, and that's just, I've heard my clients telling me that they've designed whole rooms around pieces that I've done, and it's just been kind of like, okay, I don't know what to say to that because it's really humbling.
Well, seeing as how you can take some pieces and make it look like an actual photograph instead of a painting.
Yeah, and there was a lot of cleanup that had to happen from the reference picture that Dave and Michelle had gave me. So this one is going to be, a lot of the reference shots for this one are inside versus the other one that's outside. The other one's backlit. So there'll be a little bit of touch up to see if I can't get the two kind of marriage together. And I will try when I'm doing the streams, when I'm working on it, we'll do this setup. Let me move the table out of the way, or the TV out of the way. I'm going to try and do this setup so that it, maybe I can put the reference.
You're going to try to show the back of your dirty monitor?
Yeah, I don't want to see the back of my dirty monitor. But I can put up, like, the reference shots and then maybe, like, the original painting that we're going to try and marriage with the sequel commission. So it'll be a challenge. It'll be coming up. I'll kind of stream that. And I did have an idea.
So is this what next week's phone call is going to be about?
Well, I'm going to kind of see if I can't get some streaming done on Thursday and Friday so I can get some work done. So there's that. But that's the nice thing, is that I don't have to necessarily be on the phone with you. I just would have to be more attentive to the chat, which is why I think that this would all go that way.
Which I gotta get used to myself.
It's fine. And then I think when I'm doing that, I'm just going to go to straight this one and maybe put the, put it like this. And then just maybe have the logo in the corner and the reference shots in there, and then I can jam out to whatever the hell I want to listen to. really like how nice it is to change these camera angles. It's so slick. Like, this is slick.
That is quick and pretty much seamless.
Yeah, it's super nice. So it's just like, okay, well, you know, we actually got into a discussion here. I have to change where I'm sitting.
Like I said earlier, I like how it adds that effect of sweeping off to the left and then sweeping off to the right when you're switching cameras.
I was watching, there's a channel called Alpha Gaming, and he goes over a lot of camera equipment, which of course we've been talking for months about upgrading the camera over the drafting table. But then there's also the whole thing with not necessarily getting what I wanted out of my camera positions and it being such a pain in the butt to upload and all of this other stuff. And as you know, Lisa Lackery does her Thursday night streams, her Tuesday and Thursday streams, and her camera angle is not dead on her work. It's kind of over her shoulder, and her setup is really, really tight. And I thought, well, I really want to do something that's much more spaced out because I use a lot of the studio. I mean, there's a lot of space in this place. But according to Scott, when I did the Jasper video, apparently this whole space back here looks huge. I made the space between the closet and the drafting table just look immense. And he's like, it's 2 feet, and you made it look like it was 10. That's cool. And I'm like, I don't know how I made it look like it was 10 feet other than I had a panning shot. I had a panning shot. That was all that was. So, yeah.
I would have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, what's kind of nice now is that I can tonight in fact when I had to do the registry for Facebook and reset up my Facebook page for business and sales, I had to confirm the account with my business email, of course. So I logged into my Outlook account for the first time in probably like a month. And this gets into the conversation that I said is probably going to make your head hurt, and you're probably going to be like, no, don't burn bridges. I got a letter from the SVA.
Okay.
Guess what they want to know?
What, come and pick up your dragon?
No. Did you want to renew your membership?
It's been almost 2 years now.
I know. And the people who have been like commenting and are watching just heard tonight all of the BS that happened between digital art isn't real art and digital photography isn't real photography. And yeah, when I was a member of the SVA, they were at least 120 strong. I mean, there was a good clique of people in there. I looked at their website. They've probably got 30, maybe 40 members now. I mean, it is way smaller. They took a huge hit as far as people who are associating themselves with them. And I did take it into consideration that maybe we should...
There were a good amount of pretentious artists there, too, though.
Pretentious?
Where, their form of art is pretty much the only pure form of that media.
You're only shooting photography if you're shooting in 35mm, or as Ray Moody would do.
If you don't develop the picture yourself, then you're not an artist.
You're not a good camera aficionado unless you've shot with something that's 150 years older than your grandparents. Like the first camera ever. And you know how to use it. And you can get cancer from the way that we develop shit. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that it was just like, this is nuts. Just nuts.
Yep.
So yeah, it was good fun. So they'd like to know if I'd like to renew my membership. What do you think my answer should be, Matt?
I think it should be no. I mean, I'm not exactly sure. I can see them being like a real help, but I'm thinking no.
No, yeah, probably strongly into the no department. Because after I brought the current night staff up to the crap that happened between them, trash talking my current place of employment, which was hugely beneficial if they just decided to use us properly and I don't know, take advantages of the services we were offering them and learn. I don't know that thing. Oh,
Free advertisement.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, that's a thing. Marketing. Learning to sell yourself. Stop telling artists to undervalue themselves because they're charging too much. Like the laundry list. After I got that email, I can't even say that I was nice about the fact that I was up till 4 in the morning just ranting on the keyboard and just like, nope, we gotta make this sound professional. Let's reword this so it doesn't sound quite so bitchy. And yet shit talking still remained a phrase in the email like 4 times. Because I didn't think that that was anything I was going to mince words about, was how some artists shit talk other artists to collectors' faces, and it puts off collectors. And you probably shouldn't do that. Collectors don't like that.
Yeah, I remember that whole conversation.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it was just like, how, what, no.
But I seem to remember that being like 2 years ago.
It was.
And
It was, and I haven't paid for my dues since then. And in fact, I told several members, including the owner of the building, that I was not going to be renewing my membership, and c'est la vie. And yet, last week I got an email from them going, I'm really a fan of your work, and she even for all prosperities, used her really big words and said these people are good drawers and painters, and I thought, are you 5? Either that or you're using Matt's lingo, because that's the way Matt talks, because Japan land and China land and Star Wars land and smack you upside the head land.
You realize that I do that just to annoy you.
I know you do it just to annoy me. You make up words just to annoy me.
Well, does it work?
As far as annoying me? If that's a goal, yes, you've succeeded. You have succeeded in confusing me and making me wonder whether or not you've been taking all your medications.
Oh.
Sprinkles cheese. God damn it, Rose.
What is that supposed to mean,
sprinkles cheese. Okay. Cheese. So I was telling the guys at work, including Rose, about your infuriating need to call Epcot Canada land and China land and Mexico land and everything land. And she decided to make up the fact that we have shredded cheddar cheese at work, right? Okay?
Yeah.
I have been known to eat shredded Parmesan cheese on salads and on noodles, okay? It's called shredded Parmesan cheese. It's called shredded cheddar cheese, right? You can get it finely shredded. You can get it like chef chopped, right? No. Dingy Dooha and Scott like to sit there and call it sprinkles cheese just to annoy me. Just to annoy me.
Okay.
Just to annoy me. Just sprinkle cheese. Why are you calling it sprinkle cheese? Because that's what you do. You sprinkle it on stuff. Oh, God.
Now I get it.
Hang on a second. Yes, Devin, I'm on the air, and so are you.
I understand.
Okay.
Can you walk out the room real quick? Because it's actually work related.
Cool. So we get to see whether or not that worked.
It worked. It went dead quiet.
It went dead quiet. You got to look at my desktop.
Yep.
Yay! I have a saving screen. Ha ha ha. Nah, because work can never leave me alone.
Kind of works like a cough button.
Well, it's meant as a mute button. It's kind of like a standby screen, I'll be right back kind of thing.
Experiencing technical difficulties, if I can speak.
Be right back. Be right back, we're called. Be right back, gotta pee. Be right back, gotta make urine.
Kitties.
Touch, touch. Let's see. I'm gonna move out of the way. I can see if I can get Brooklyn in the shot. Because Brooklyn's in her bed. There's Brooklyn. There's Brooklyn. And there's Dutch. Come on, Dutch, Dutch. Dutch, Dutch. She's useless. I swear to God. Come here. Come here. Ah! You're gonna tell me about your life. Okay. Duchess.
Chunky jump cutie.
This is not a chunky chunk Judy. Do 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 do. Do do do. Hi. That would have only been any better if you looked at the camera cross-eyed. Hey, kitty moment. Don't do that.
Apparently your cats are going over very well.
Yep. Hi, peoples. Let me get you
We
a
gotta
close.
get you a monkey next.
No monkeys. No monkeys throw poop. Hi. Hi. Ooh, we're purring.
Rosa says I'm stealing. I'm imagining that's pertaining to the cute cat in front of your desk.
That might not necessarily be true because she may very well just steal yours truly. You know.
Your monkeys are at work.
I'm stealing. Yes, the minions are at work. So speaking of, I told you about the dumb things with I'm afraid of man-made ice. I think I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. Kind of.
Kind of, sort of, maybe. Ooh. This is kind of sad. Like, on my thing, it only gives me, like, time until, like, 9... Well, maybe it's... For 21 minutes. I've been on the air for almost an hour.
That's usually about our time that we talk on the phone.
How many?
Usually about an hour. Hour and a half. Restaurant ice, the order. Ah, the order.
I love how, Rose, your comment got held for review. Shut up, Karen. So there's the commission coming up, and then so February, now that I actually have a streaming setup all ready to go, was meant to be a bird-themed cat here. This is why I don't pick them up. Is meant to be a bird-themed month, because I do so many birds, you know. But the chicken video did really well, considering that.
Chicken. Oh yes.
Yeah, the chicken video. The chicken video did really, really well, and I don't understand why the chicken video did as well as it did. I don't get it.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Um, Learn to love it, Big Bird. So I was thinking, I found pictures of a white peacock flying. I think it was fighting with another white peacock. So I kind of got some ideas.
Peacocks are stupid. Where'd you come from?
Yeah, the whole Brookfield Zoo thing. There needs to be more. I hate to be the disillusioned person. I think that what we should do here, Matt, is that you should just fix the situation that you're in. Okay? Do whatever it is that you need to do to get out of the situation that you're in. And then just be on SSI. Don't cook. Don't work. Just come back to Wisconsin and you can be my pet junkie. I'm going to take you to the zoo. And then you get to film shit. And edit. And
I would rather fix myself and make myself a little bit more viable. But yes, what I'm planning on doing is as soon as I'm released from here, I'm planning on turning myself in and dealing with that crap. So
for all those who are watching this in the past, if we go from doing lots of streaming on Monday nights with Matt, and then suddenly Matt falls off the face of the earth for like 2 or 3 years, it's because he's taking
legal issues, and it'll only be about 2 years.
It's because he's dealing with a certain bad decision that he made. Chicken and macaroni chilling with your homies? I'm not painting chicken and macaroni. That doesn't sound like a high contrast meal. Sounds good, filling, yes, but not an interesting.
I think she means do a chicken and macaroni art.
No! What does this look like? That's what Jazza Station's for. Crazy crap like speed painting with Bob Ross.
I think she's trying to get us to talk about the SBA again.
I'm gonna do today. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do macaroni art, okay? And it's gonna be the greatest art ever. And we're gonna make chickens out of macaroni, okay? This is what we're gonna do today. We're gonna get the macaronis. I need shapes.
Looking up other artists to try to get ideas to throw at you. I ran into people who actually talk like that. And did My Little Pony coloring books and all of this, and I'm going, oh my god, I'm beating my head against the refrigerator.
Well, what Jazza did is that he's like a whole. It's going to be the Krusty Krab. You want the crab to go get you the clamps. I don't know why it's the East Brooklyn accent. I have no idea why the East Brooklyn accent.
Why the East
originally,
Brooklyn
it was going to be the
accent?
greatest. It's the greatest thing
like
you've ever seen. We're going to do chicken macaroni. It'll be the greatest art ever. Because they can't go back to New York. Jesus Christ, you guys. Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick. It's a really good thing that it's really good that I legitimately wasn't really planning on trying to get any work done tonight because I was like I don't have the layout done, I'm not focused, I don't even know if this is gonna work, and I called you and it went to voicemail and I'm like, okay, well shit. It's the greatest artwork you ever saw. It's a macaroni chicken. Shut your face. When you get done looking at it, you can cook it and eat it. It'd be great. I have no idea what that.
Now you're doing a JFK.
I have no
JFK
idea.
impersonation.
I just it's kind of like me and Doug one night were making fun of, you know, the accordion orange goblin that was running the country for a while, and it's the greatest thing ever. Nobody's done more chicken macaroni art than me. But tonight he gets a Brooklyn accent. I don't know why. He's getting a Brooklyn accent because we're making macaroni chicken art. That's the way we're doing it.
All right, Ethel.
No, it's the greatest macaroni chicken you've ever seen ever. We're going to get the Rotoni, and we're going to get the vermicelli, and then we're going to get this one. His name is Gladys. He was a wonderful chicken. You have no idea. He had a very, very good life. He smoked a little bit too much, but then he went, you know, bunny, foo-foo, and then we just took him off at the head. He made a wonderful roasting chicken. We cooked him up with some noodles. It was a great macaroni chicken. This is going to go down in posterity. This is how we get off on the incredibly obnoxious tangents that just go absolutely nowhere. And Scott's probably in bed and just like, really? My staff just never leave each other alone, and she's talking about macaroni chickens, and we have no idea. It's a macaroni chicken. Listen
I tell
here.
you got to do like a macaroni chicken collage thing.
Only if I
That's
can.
what they're wanting you to do.
Macaroni chickens. Macaroni chickens. We're not gonna paint the chickens and the macaroni because that's boring. There's no contrast to it. We're just gonna make a chicken out of. Would that be a 2D or a 3D sculpture? Okay, since Rose brought it up, is it a 2D or a 3D sculpture? Hashtag Trump's fault. Okay. I need to know for my viewing audience, is the macaroni chicken, is it a 2D sculpture? We're gonna glue it to the paper and it's gonna look like a chicken, or I taken a
I'm sure that they need beer
canned beaver. So for those watching this on playback that aren't friends with me on Facebook, hashtag shit that is misheard at work. Michael Weber was his name when he came and picked up his order. What the kitchen heard was my cold beaver. My cold beaver. And they immediately went into rescue mode because beavers should never be cold. So it went everything from stick it on top of the broiler to put it in the oven to put it in the microwave, and then it was, well, how are you going to close the door? The beaver's tail is going to be in the way. And then they said, well, isn't beaver tail? And it was and I just was like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Because I was up front, and they were like, my cold beaver. And I was so
I'm going to leave that one alone, too.
2D because something 3D would confuse Trump. Rose?
Because something 3D would confuse Trump. There you go.
What is paper mache? Is mash up? Is that a word, or are we making? Am I misreading that? I mean, Matt, you are the king of making up words. So I'm assuming that's supposed to say paper mache style. So what I'm doing is I'm cooking the noodles, and then I'm making them look like chickens. And you go bark here and bark there, and this is crazy, this crazy, this crazy, crazy. Old McCluck is not doing 2D art with noodles. Who needs music? It could just have me going bonkers, because it's 9:45.
Just sound it out.
Sound it out. Buck here and buck there. This is what will happen. It's slow, and so we're gonna watch her stream. honestly, if I was gonna sound it up, Devin, it would be like paper mache. Mache? Mache?
Oh, that's okay.
Hashtag Trump.
I was thinking mochi. What?
No, that's in the fridge. I can go get some. That sounds really good. We have to pause and go to a commercial so I can eat ice cream. Would I be that mean? Yes, I would. I would absolutely be that mean.
But then as you go to the commercial, I'm not hanging.
No, I could take you with me.
Ohio.
Hey, you're on my cell phone. You're wireless. You're my... Wait. The beer can beaver? Wait, I think they're looking for a recipe for beer can beaver? Is that what we're doing? Is we're looking for a recipe for beer can beaver?
I believe so.
I don't know.
I'm not exactly sure what that pertains to, but oh well.
Yeah, so the second piece I was planning on working on this month was going to be this fantasy type bird, because Mom passed away in February, and so, and then Dad did too. So I was kind of doing that whole thing where I was thinking about that. And it's birds, and Mom loves hummingbirds. And then there's the whole thing with glitter, because everybody really enjoyed the glitter piece, which is kind of nifty because I can show the glitter pieces all I want, except that they are not going to translate well on over the computer and over like a picture of it, because it's glitter, and glitter never translates over a picture really well. So why would we put the beaver in the freezer? Matthew,
I don't know later date. I don't know.
I'm confused. Did you check the use by date? So I was thinking I could get up here for a minute. Off my lazy tuck is. Oh, here it is. So after doing the Halloween horse thing, the first Frost episode, I kind of liked what I got, and it was really popular. You know, it went over well, and honestly, I could post that thing till the cows come home, and you can't really copy it because you can't replicate the glitter. So that's kind of nice. So I went to the store, and I got more craft herpes. Because this is some pretty nifty craft herpes right here. Well, it was focusing, and now it's not. You focus, camera? Yeah, so there's like this.
So be truthful, how much of that stuff did you end up finding and vacuuming when you switched out your desk?
Honestly, there was not a whole lot of the glitter that I found like underneath the desk or anything. What amazes me is that I didn't find any for weeks afterwards. I got all of that makeup off of my face and cleaned it up, and maybe it's the fact that, like an idiot, I just used the disposable makeup wipes and put it right in the trash. You know, a little self-containment.
Glitter bomb herpes for everyone.
Well, shiny conjunctivitis. But then I had to wipe the fine stuff off. I had to use some face wash on that. And apparently, that is how. What was that? October, November, December, January, February. 5 months later, I have now found glitter in a bath towel. But it still doesn't explain how Scott wound up with glitter in his hair today. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm not sure we want to know that story.
I don't even think I want to know that story. So, this is... Oh, god dang it, it's not gonna... There it is. Do I gotta go up there? Come on. Come on. You had it focused at one point. I'm gonna try it again. Oh, it focused and then it stopped
If you move
focusing.
your hand over towards the lip of it, it'll actually shine. I mean, it'll actually focus better.
Okay, so
I know what it's doing is trying to focus on your hand, not the bottle. There you go.
yeah, and it went back to it. It's trying to. Come on. Anyway, so there's this glitter that is like green glitter. Come on. Damn it. Anyway, it's this really pretty cool emerald green that I'd probably have to put a filter on these webcams in order for the color to pop out a little bit more. It looks really super tight. Let me see if I can get it to show up on the other webcam. Hang on a second. Let's change webcam. See if this will show up here. Yeah, see, the closer I get, the worse it gets. But it's this really pretty emerald green, and there's different size. There's different sized glitter pieces in it. So you get that far away and that really fine glitter. And the glitter is of different temperatures. And so, while I've only found one other video on the internet going over painting with glitter in an actual fine art kind of way, it was kind of intriguing to be able to take maybe this glitter and drop it on the floor, but be able to take the glitter and then kind of do kind of the same effect with maybe like a fantasy bird, and then maybe have it, you know, making some really cool lines or something, kind of very anime. And then I can do something for February. But that puts me at that would put me at 2 acrylic pieces for February, but I think the bird would go up for sale. And I'm thinking it would probably, just like the foal, be like an 8x10. Then I'm going to do this with a pencil. So the big canvas that's over my shoulder back on the wall by the door that I'm pointing at currently is a 30 by 45. It's a huge canvas. It's a huge canvas. And for the longest time, I had that planned out for a cliff painting with some wolves. And this is going to get Devin's heart all up in a roar, because Devin really wanted me to do wolves. And of course, I've got the white snowflake opalescent glitter. And the initial challenge
Rose has to charge your phone. She won't be able to text.
Okay. But the initial thought was, well, since there was so much that was to be learned with doing the first Frost Horse, I'm just going to drop all of these because I'm just horrible.
It's a dropping type of
it is a dropping. My hands are really, really dry. So to see how much of a challenge it would be to do kind of like a snow scene, since snow is very glittery anyway, and that's a lot of the reasons why you have some of these kinds of glitter paints, is to replicate snow. So that was kind of the idea, is to do maybe like a wolves chasing something in snow, and then be able to do the glitter effect on the snow that was getting flipped up, or having frost, like a not like a drift, but you know how drifts are formed and you have that blowover, like you have, you know, blow over a road or something like that, but have it blowing off a cliff, and do that in glitter. And I thought, well, yeah, but I thought wolves have been so done to death. I mean, like, for God's sakes, almost all of art from like 95 to like 2002 was all wolves. Like, you couldn't get away from wolves, the artwork, wolves, the painting, wolves, the contemporary collection, wolves, the audio CD. That's all you heard about for like 6 years was wolves. So it's hard to get away from that. Devin was asking for me to do something with the glitter and the wolf painting. In response to Rose's question about Devin said what? Devin wanted me to do something in the glitter department with a wolf instead of something else. If I had a subject, he chose wolves. But I was at a loss because I wanted something new and something dynamic. So you can stream PBS, Matt. I don't know if you knew that, but you can now
No,
go.
I didn't.
Yeah, you can go on and you can stream PBS, and PBS still has the nature program. So for all the fact that there are 31 seasons of The Simpsons, which makes me want to yak, PBS has 30 seasons of nature on their
Is
digital.
that like? I'm sorry. Is that like trying to stream the CW?
I don't know if you can do it online. I know that with Roku, basically there's like a PBS channel.
I gotta get a smart TV.
So I mean, it was kind of nice because I don't currently have a premium account with PBS where you would have a full access to their library. So I get whatever nature programs are currently available, and I got home, the tower was down, and I decided to eat dinner in the living room, and there was a show for nature for the Alps, and there's two of them for the Alps, and there was a bunch of pictures that were real scenic shots. Like, if anybody knows, looking back, about these two episodes from nature, because I honestly think because of the way that the camera angles are and how unpredictable birds can be, I honestly am suspicious that the bird that is the golden eagle that's in this documentary is probably a CGI eagle because the shots are way too perfect. The eagle landing on the crest of a mountain with another mountain range well behind it, and it's the perfect focus shot of the claws grabbing the rock and the bird coming to rest on that rock. There's no reason for that eagle to land there, and it's a slow motion shot, but there's still no reason for that eagle to land there at all. There's no prey, it's not a vantage point that you can see. There's like no way you could have predicted that this bird was going to land there. So I suspect that there might have been a little CGI magic going on with the storytelling. But I learned two things, and one of them is that they have reintroduced bears to the Alps, which, as you know, is the mountain range that goes through Europe.
Yeah.
But they have also reintroduced wolves.
Really?
Yeah, the wolves have come back, and they are in, I want to say, I'm probably going to screw this up because I want to say they said something about the Cossack section of the Alps. So over in Germany and that area, there are wolves over there. And bobcats are becoming more prevalent, and, well, bobcat lynx. Because I think bobcats
I
are
thought
strictly...
bobcats were American.
Yeah, I think bobcats are strictly North American. So lynx. But they're saying that there were some really pretty shots with like the Matterhorn in the background, and those mostly had the eagle in them, because they were trying to say that, you know, all of this mountain range is, the best way to see this mountain range is from an eagle's perspective, blah blah blah, which is why I think they, you know, when they're taking that narration, they decided to CGI an eagle, because when you watch it, I mean, the shots are very stunning. I have no problem with the shots, but I do think a couple of the shots are CGI because it would be almost impossible to get those shots in a natural environment. Even if you had a falconer's eagle that was trained to go to a mark, I think it would be nearly impossible to get that shot.
Okay.
But I got the idea for doing maybe like a shot of like the Matterhorn in the background, so a separate mountain range in the background, and then the foreground would be like the ridge line. And because it's the Alps, you have red deer, and then do a white red deer being chased by a bunch of wolves.
That would be really cool. Really cool.
which is not a scene you can normally see, but I thought I'd take it just a little bit farther because, you know, I'm a jerk. And have there be kind of like that movie-esque kind of thing where the deer leaps to get away from the wolves and it's leaping, and it's entirely possible that it may or may not make it because it's leaping to another mountain range, and just call it Leap of Faith. So for a minute, that red deer looks like Santa's reindeer. And like there would be all of these little swirls of snow and glitter, and you could just make up your own conclusion about whether or not the deer actually makes it.
I'm trying to remember that wildlife painter that he's on like mugs and plates that are not meant to be used. They're meant to be up on the wall. Never mind.
What was he using?
What's that?
What was he using?
He paints on plates.
Okay.
Actually, it's prints on plates and on mugs and stuff that are not actually meant to be used. It's something Redding.
Okay, I could probably look it up when we're not on the air. That just got a little confusing for me. So yeah, that was my 3 projects that I'm kind of working on. So I've got 1 commission and then 2 glitter pieces. I did email because there was the Spring Fair to Remember, which, as you know, I got paperwork for like 3 weeks ago. So I haven't heard anything email-wise, so I emailed that show and said a lot of shows are still canceling. Midwest Horse Fair is still canceled for this year. Maxwell Street Days for 2021 got canceled. There was a bunch of other things that got canceled. And I said I just got basically the registry paperwork.
Pretty much everything that anybody would want to do is
anybody would really want to do. You guys can all stay home because COVID. So I was kind of thinking about it, and I emailed her anyway because I hadn't gotten anything other than, by the way, this is your assignment. I don't want to be the idiot that shows up with a fully packed car. What was it, 2nd or 3rd weekend in April? It's the same weekend as Midwest Horse Fair. And just be the only one sitting there like, how come nobody's here? I can't be that early. Well, it turned out that they actually canceled it. And so, yeah, it's on for 2021. I was really looking forward to being able to do like a webcast that would be like setting up for a show and going through your inventory and all that jazz, and, you know, price pointing, marketing, business.
Sure.
That's apparently not a thing we're going to do.
Show all the tips and tricks.
Yep. Yeah, this is all the stuff that they don't teach you in places that they don't teach you these things. Otherwise known as the SBA. So. Oh, you took a look at my profile picture. So I got this done. Oops. Da-da-da-dun.
Very nice. That's what we were talking about when we were at the haberdashery.
Yes, it is. So this thing has got more like looks and moods than Megan.
Very nice.
So it's all. And I bought way more polar fleece than I needed because I didn't write down everything that I needed yardage wise. And this is one of those that when I get to doing other hat bands, that I can do that on the workbench. I can change my camera angle because I've got quite a few of them now. Got quite a few of them. Got a whole box of them. I get lots of compliments on that hat. It makes me feel special. It's like, look, you can do crafty, artistic things and look nifty and make other people wish that they were sporting that hat, and yet they're never going to.
Yes.
They're just, it's not going to happen. Goodness, it's 11 o'clock by you.
Yes, it is.
Well,
I
yeah.
should probably get off the phone pretty soon. I gotta save minutes.
Oof. Okay. Well, I don't know that there's much more that we can go over because we pretty much did our thing. I'm gonna work on
Yeah.
Dave's layout in the next couple of days, and I will probably be streaming and working on the bird layout that will be the green glitter piece, because I think I'm just going to put it with like a tropical background. And then I think after that I can work on the piece back there with the running wolves and the red deer. So.
All right. Look forward to seeing it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Like all of your pieces.
Yeah, and then next Monday we should be back on regular schedule because Duchess has to go to the vet. And just in case anybody wanted some cuteness. Cuteness! Don't care, that's cute. I should just have kitten cam. Just kitten cam. See, it'll be like having pets without picking up the poop. Having pets without
fight. We fight.
I'm gonna eat your arm. Mama likes me more. It's a thing. They do that. So yeah, so 3 big projects coming up. I wish I was getting ready for a show. That would be kind of nice, but the commission will help pay for the new tower and the much faster tower.
I just hope that 21 isn't like 22, 20.
I hope 21 is not like 20, because 20 sucked. And I'm kind of
20 did.
I'm kind of hoping that by like late summer, early fall 20, I can actually do the trip that I know you would love to go on, but you're not going to go on.
Yeah.
So, but by that time I'll probably wind up having picked up another camera and can use my Canon for Canon-like purposes. You know, taking pictures of Jensen Ackles from the back of a hall. Being incredibly wildly inappropriate with my camera while 50 feet away from, you know, Rowena. What episode?
Yeah, it's not exactly an incognito camera.
It is not. It is absolutely not. Not when you're standing there with a big supernatural, like with the anti-possession pentacle on your thigh, kind of like in the same position that this is in, except on the other leg, acting as a holster for a camera that's got a lens that looks like you could shoot craters in the moon, and well, really you could. I've done it. It's great fun. And you're shooting from like 50 feet away. Just like, hi, I have no social, like, I'm so awkward. I'm just gonna make this incredibly awkward. Queen of awkward. Hi. Please don't talk to me. I don't want to talk to anyone. What episode are you on? Matthew, what episode are you on? Are you there?
What episode am I on?
Yeah.
SPN, I'm on season 11, and I think it's 10 or 11 right now.
Okay.
Which I was planning on watching when I get off the phone with you.
Because silence and watching bed,
Yes.
you know, watching TV
Yes, sorry.
under the covers.
I kind of got hypnotized by the lag between what you say. I was focusing on the computer, and then on what you were saying, and derp.
No, I'm gonna watch the Supernatural. I can see you. Contraband of Supernatural. So yeah. So, for some people, this is really boring, and for me, it's just wildly entertaining because I have so much stuff to do. So.
Right. I was very much into the season when it first started, but I was working second shift, so it was damn impossible to see it. And now I'm just having a hard time getting back into it, except now they got, like, now they got now they got Crawley in it, and Rowena, and I'm really starting to have orgasms over it.
Oh yeah. I the whole Rowena and Crowley dynamic, like, Scott was kind of thrown off for a minute because he's like, they're gonna give Crowley mommy issues, and I was like, why not? Dean's got mommy issues, you know.
That was like the very first season that they or the very first episode that they put those two in the same room together.
Not that.
300 years ago you did this to me. Well, that was 300 years ago.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I could probably turn the gain down on this freaking microphone. Because it is spiking a lot. Woo! Maybe not. Alright, I'll tweak that later. So, apparently Rose would like to squeeze the kittens. She wants to squeeze you. You're so cute. Squeaks. Hmm?
Oh, that's what that was about.
Yeah, I think she's talking about the kittens.
Duchess. Okay.
She's touching.
I was wondering, can you squeeze you?
Oh, squeeze this one. Squeeze this one. Squeeze this one. Here, we're going to do the thing that you're not allowed to normally do. You're going to go on the table. Ooh, hi. Hi. Hi.
Getting big.
No, not so
Just
much.
a bowl of flute before.
She was like a Gumby version of a cat. And she's just watching. This is so funny. She watches TV with me. So right now, what she's watching is the gain monitor on the Snowball mic, because it's the only thing moving besides her on the screen.
Okay.
I touch you. Ah. She loves to watch TV though.
I know your cat's on YouTube land.
YouTube! This is the kitten that Duchess built.
You're a famous kitten.
Why not? I mean, Lisa's got her chicken, her baby chicken. Just basically just a cockatiel, but it's a thing. I got a feeling I could put like a camera up here for the kitten, but not until after I get rid of the fish. The fish would have to die before I give the kitten outright permission to just be up here. You're gonna get me all full of cat fluff again. So, yeah. So really not a bad setup, I don't think. I think it works rather well.
No, it's quite professional looking. I really like how it segued.
Yeah, the little segues are.
Camera.
Yep.
The banding issue is taken care of.
Yep.
Pretty cool deal.
Yeah, I think it works really super sweet. Like, that is tight. I don't even care. Like, that was, to be able to do streams like that, and even if I wanted to record and have discussions and do tutorials like that, that would make just recording this so much easier.
Sure.
You know, just be like, well, we're gonna do it on, we're gonna sketch this out on the Wacom, and then we're gonna actually do it flat out on the table, and just it's really nice. And I can honestly say that it would not have been this sweet and synced up if I hadn't spent time off the channel watching like Alpha Gaming and Nutty and all this stuff. See, like even on this one, with the drafting table with me in the corner, I can tighten this up so that there's a better cropped picture of me in the corner rather than being a wider angle on the room.
Okay.
So I can adjust this one too.
You can.
Yeah, I can continue to tweak this.
Okay.
And then the other thing is that this this up here, I can change the text in here, and I can there's a extension or a plugin that I can put in so it has a, you're gonna laugh, closed captioning, because that always works so well.
Yeah, especially like I'm imagining that text to
Like it's a text,
talk,
yeah, it's
where,
like
with me it doesn't pick up half the words and you gotta type it out anyways, but you're a horrible speller like I am.
you make up words. I ain't even gonna lie, you make up words. But I think it's kind of nice that if I'm using a particular color or something, and then somebody asks me a question, like if I'm working on a painting or whatever, and they want to know what color I'm working in, I can just look at my palette, give them the wrong color, and then correct myself 6 times. But at least it'll put it on the screen. So overall, I'm really happy with this new setup. That the screen changing is super tight.
I think it'll work out very nice. Very professional setup you got.
I'm super happy with it. So who knew? Gamers got something going on. And I'm gonna steal it. Because poor Lisa has just got her 2 cameras. She's got a 720p camera that's pointing at her face, and then she's got an actual photography camera that she does her stream with. I think she's running on 2 computers and is trying to network her computers. And I was just like, you know what? I'm really glad that I managed to get some.
Store, Devin. Glad to hear you like it.
Yeah, so yeah, I am super stoked about this. Not having to dork around with cameras will be nice. And as you know, Matt, there is a right now this thing is sitting on a cap. That webcam over the table is sitting over a cap. And so I can actually put the extension bar that is, look at that, I don't even have to move anything. So the extension PVC that's over next to my glasses on the table actually drops the camera a foot closer to the drafting table, so it'll take out the space around the table and be more focused in tighter on the shot. And I have a manual focus on this camera, and then I can pull that back toward the wall a little bit, and then put the recording camera that'll record in 4K, and I can do the time lapse in, and that will be farther out with a wider shot or a tighter shot or whatever I want to do. I don't have to. I can still run 2 cameras on the rig that I have over the table, which is nice.
Okay.
So if I want to go and get a Canon, I can get a Canon and it'll be fine. But it was super nice to figure out that I could. And actually, the guys at Canon were like, "You don't need to buy one of our expensive cameras to do this. You just have to drop your frame rate below the flicker rate and the refresh rate of your light. So drop it to 30 frames per second and change the hertz to 50 hertz." Really? Yeah, really. They didn't tell you that at the PC store? And I'm like, no. They're like, yeah, just go get a 1080p.
Your camera guy at the PC store wasn't too knowledgeable.
No, he didn't really know what he was doing. Yeah, he was not too swift on the upswing. So yeah, it'll be really nice now. In fact, with this one,
That'll definitely save you some editing time too.
yeah, I can even dial up the saturation a little bit
I
more.
wonder how much they'll save you.
Well,
Probably a couple of hours.
being able to do it this way, okay, that looks a lot better. Being able to do it this way, with just being able to do the really quick camera changes, is so much nicer. Like, this is like one or two things. And this one is literally, so if I wanted to put a second screen, like if I wanted to do a monitor capture for the second monitor, which is currently running YouTube, and I wanted to like do a diagnostic on a photograph or something like that, then I have that option.
Yeah.
But I suppose I could do it off the Wacom too, because I already have one screen capture. But because I've got multiple monitors, I can do, it's like camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. Anybody got a Wayne's World flashback yet? Camera 1, camera 2. But I can do
Really
monitor
looking
1 and
forward to
monitor
seeing
2.
what you come up with.
Yeah,
in the near future.
This allows me to get way more focus done on getting the artwork done rather than, do I have the camera angle? Because I don't have to adjust the camera angles. I don't have to adjust the lighting anymore. So yeah. So I suppose I should let you go. It's 10:30.
All right.
All right.
Take it easy, hon.
Yeah, I'll talk to you next Monday. Duchess is going to go in for her booster shot on her distemper, and then I got to get her spay appointment in.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, dear. Talk to you later.
Take it easy.
All right.